Do not drive into Elkhorn at night. Not unless you want to see her. The thing they call the death in Elkhorn. People say if your headlights ever catch her standing between the trees, your time is already running out. My name is Trevor Hayes, and this is the story of how I learned that some legends aren't legends at all. It began on a Thursday night, during the worst storm Elkhorn had seen in years. Sheets of rain hammered my windshield. Thunder rattled the sky so violently the power flickered across the whole town. I was driving home along County Road K, the stretch of road everyone avoids after dark. The one lined with dense pine trees, leaning inward like they're trying to swallow the road whole. The radio cut out. Just silence. Then a faint whisper came through the static. A woman's voice. Soft. Broken. Like someone speaking underwater. I leaned forward, squinting through the rain, and then, in the flash of lightning, I saw her. A figure standing between the trees, tall, much taller than any normal woman. Too thin. Long, white hair that didn't move in a wind. Her head turned toward me, even though I was doing 40 miles an hour. It was only a second, but it felt like an eternity. I jerked the wheel and nearly slid into the ditch. My heart hammered so violently I thought I was having a heart attack. I tried to convince myself it was a trick of the light, or a tree stump, or my imagination. But deep down, I knew better. When I got home, soaked and shaking, I noticed something strange. Lying on my front porch, right in front of my door, was a pine branch. Not wet. Perfectly dry, as if it had been sitting in the sun for hours. But everything outside was drenched. I nudged it with my shoe, and it crumbled into dust. That night, I woke up suddenly. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. My eyes were open, but my body wouldn't respond. Sleep paralysis, I told myself. Just sleep paralysis. But then I saw her. She stood in the corner of my room, her long white hair hanging like wet seaweed, her face hidden in shadow, except for the eyes. White. Completely white. No pupils. No iris. Just blank, dead frozen light. Her mouth opened slowly, and the whisper from the radio filled the room. "I found you." I tried to scream. Nothing came out. I tried to move. Nothing. She lifted one hand toward me, fingers long, thin, jointed in the wrong places. The air grew so cold my breath turned to mist. Then, she vanished. I bolted upright, gasping. The corner was empty. But on the floor, directly where she had stood, was a puddle of rainwater. The next morning I went straight to my best friend, Mark. He grew up in Elkhorn, knew all the old stories. When I finished telling him what happened, his face drained of color. "Trev, that's not just some ghost story. You saw her. The death in Elkhorn." I laughed it off, but he didn't. He sat down slowly and told me the legend. Years ago, back when Elkhorn was barely more than a logging village, there was a woman named Anara, a healer. Some said a witch. People blamed her for sickness, bad crops, livestock dying. One winter, a child died, and they blamed her again. The townspeople chased her into the woods. She disappeared under the snowstorm. When spring came, her body was never found. But a single pine tree in the forest had died, completely dried out overnight. And since then, people claimed to see a tall, white-haired woman standing among the trees during storms. Anyone who saw her face didn't live to see the next sunrise. I wanted to believe it was just a story, but that night, it happened again. It was around 11 p.m. I was sitting on my bed, scrolling my phone, when I felt it. A cold draft, like someone opened a freezer behind me. Then the whisper, "Your time is close." The lamp flickered once, twice, and then it went out completely. The room flooded with darkness. Not normal darkness. Dense, suffocating, almost physical. And in the window's reflection, I saw something behind me. A shape. Too tall. Too thin. Its head slowly lowering, like it was bending down to study me. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. My muscles locked. My breath stopped. And then, something icy brushed the back of my neck. The lamp blinked back on. She was gone. But on the glass of the window, written in streaks of condensation, were 3 words. "I see you." I ran to Mark's house. Didn't even grab a jacket. I just drove through the storm like my life depended on it. Mark's front door was open, lights off, no sound. I stepped inside. "Mark, you home?" No answer. I found him lying on the living room floor, eyes wide open, breathing fast and shallow, like he'd run miles. He wasn't injured, but he looked like he had seen something that shouldn't exist. "Mark, talk to me." His lips trembled. Then he whispered, "Don't turn around. She's right behind you." I froze. I felt it. Cold. Tall. Standing inches away. I slowly lifted my phone, using the front camera like a mirror. And that's when I saw it. Not my reflection. Not Mark's. Hers. A face like melted wax stretched over a skull. Mouth open wider than a human jaw should allow. Eyes glowing white, brighter than the lamp. Her fingers hovered over my shoulder. Long, jagged, reaching. I dropped the phone. It shattered on the floor. When I turned, she vanished. I grabbed Mark and dragged him outside. But when we reached the street, the road wasn't the street anymore. It was the forest. The same trees, the same darkness, the same dead silence. We weren't in Elkhorn anymore. We were standing in the exact place where Anara had vanished centuries ago. I could feel her there, surrounding us, watching. Mark's breath came out in sharp gasps. "She doesn't let you go when she marks you. Trev, she takes you back to the place where she died." The ground trembled. The dead pine branches around us rattled, even though there was no wind. Then the earth beneath Mark split open, like a mouth. Roots shot upward, wrapping around his legs, waist, chest. He screamed as he was pulled down. I grabbed his arms, but the roots yanked harder. The last thing Mark said was a whisper. "Run. She wants you next." He vanished into the ground. The earth closed like nothing had happened. Silence. Then I heard her, right behind me. "Your time is here." I ran. Branches tore at my clothes. The forest twisted unnaturally, looping, warping, shifting. No matter which way I turned, I ended up in the same place. The dead pine. She stepped out of the shadows, fully visible now. Her hair floated like smoke. Her bones cracked with every movement. Her jaw unhinged slowly, revealing a hollow black void where her throat should be. She reached out and touched my chest with one finger. Cold shot through me like lightning. My vision faded. I felt my heartbeat slowing. 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 And then, everything went black. They found me the next morning, lying on the forest floor. No injuries, no frostbite, no trauma. But my heart had stopped for 6 minutes. And Mark? They haven't found him at all. His house was empty. No signs of struggle. No footprints in the mud. Just a single pine branch on his pillow. Perfectly dry. Doctors say I'm lucky to be alive. I don't feel lucky. Because every night since then, right as I fall asleep, I hear it again. That whisper. "I found you." And when I close my eyes, I see white hair, dead eyes, a face leaning over mine. She's waiting. Watching. I know she's not done with me yet, because nobody sees the death in Elkhorn and gets away forever.